What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be starting our very first series on the channel, the New York Giants franchise. In this video, we're going to go over the overall plan for the franchise series and then go over the roster and the depth chart position by position. And I'll give my thoughts on the players on the team, who we like, who's going to be a focus for the team, who we might trade, and so on and so forth. And just give a general introduction to the team, my thoughts on the Giant situation as a whole, which not great, but that's what we're here for. And then after that general introduction, we'll get into some Week 1 gameplay, hopefully pick up the first win of the franchise. And, alright, let's start out with some general info about the franchise. So, obviously, we're the New York Giants, and we're going to be sticking with Joe Judge as the head coach. He's basically brand new anyway, so it doesn't really make sense for us to use a new coach for the team. I mean, might as well stick with the actual new guy in real life. So, I'm using the most updated rosters that I could find. Unfortunately, all of the development traits for the real-life rookies aren't in here, so I'll have to add those in on my own. I'll probably just start with adding the ones on my team, but it is what it is with that. There's not much I can really do about it because this game doesn't let you add development traits when you are editing a roster, so that's Madden's fault, not mine. Also, this means some of the rookie stats and stuff are going to be a little weird, be a little off, because we're going to have two draft classes that are listed as rookies. But again, it's the best I can do with this game. Madden's kind of trash these days, so we're going to have to do the best with what we got. So I'm going to start on base all Madden sliders. We may have to tweak those some as we go, and if we do, I'll update you guys along the way as to what we change and why I changed those and how I'm feeling about them. Also note, some real-life free agents that aren't on a team right now are going to be free agents in here, and the computer's just kind of randomly picked them up. Not much I can do about that to make that more realistic. It's just kind of the best I can do with the situation I'm in. I'm going to start off without doing any real trades or anything, just see how it goes with the actual roster the Giants have, trying to keep it pretty realistic. As the season goes on, we may look into trading some people, which I'll get more into as we go over the depth chart. But as we just start off, I'm going to try to keep it just the actual current roster. So let's start off by getting ahead and looking at the depth chart that we have. So obviously Daniel Jones is going to be the starting quarterback. Is he the quarterback of the future? Don't know. We're going to have to figure that out as we go. Kind of depends on how he plays, but he's too young to give up on already. He's had some bright spots. He's had some down spots. Just an up and down early career, so we're going to have to build off of that. Backup is Mike Glennon. He is in no position to challenge Daniel Jones for the starting job, but he's a serviceable backup. We may look to pick up a third-string quarterback just because I don't feel comfortable only having two on the roster, but that's just kind of the situation we have to start with. Running back, we have Saquon Barkley. He is definitely the future of this team. He is the superstar. We're going to have to try to get him some help, get him some blocking, but it is a great security blanket for Daniel Jones to have him in the backfield. Backup's Devontae Booker. He's serviceable, as is Corey Clement. Corey Clement will probably get the number 2 job here, but it's going to be Saquon. I mean, let's be real. He's a generational talent at running back. The other guys don't really matter all that much. Fullback, I mean, he's a fullback. Not much to say about Gillespie here. Wide receiver, we have an embarrassment of riches at wide receiver. Picked up Kenny Golladay. He's definitely going to be our number 1. Look to see if we can get him some good targets from Daniel Jones. Hopefully that'll build a good connection there. Sterling Shepard is already a very good receiver that Daniel Jones has a good connection with in real life. We're going to look to expand upon that. Darius Slayton is a very talented young wide receiver out of Auburn. Really good deep threat, can go over the top. Love to see him get more involved. Kadarius Toney, another guy that they picked up, rookie out of this most recent draft, coming out of Florida. Electric player in the open field. He's not the biggest guy out there, but he's really shifty, really good at getting open. Going to probably be our slot receiver, but we'll see. We're going to have to try to find ways to get him involved in this really stacked receiving core. And then you have John Ross and Dante Pettis, two speedsters. Honestly, going to be difficult for them to get involved in the offense here, but we're going to have to try to find ways to fabricate that because of the speed, in particular, that John Ross offers. I mean, that is just he broke the combine record for a reason. We're going to have to try to get him involved somehow. May look to trade one of these receivers at some point. Obviously, like I said earlier, we're not going to start off with trading any, but this is a position where we have immense wealth of talent, and we really need help at other places, so we could look to move on from one of these guys, but we'll just have to see how that goes. Tight end, we have Kyle Rudolph and Evan Ingram, which Evan Ingram's going to get the start there, so let me go ahead and move that. Evan Ingram is a blazing fast tight end with the 89 speed, 90 acceleration. Super excited to use him in the offense. He's another target for us to have. Kyle Rudolph is just another veteran talent for us to have there. Probably not a long-term option, but, you know, he's a good stopgap backup tight end for us. Going to be hard for him to get involved with Saquon Barkley, the receiving core we have, and Evan Ingram. It's going to be difficult for Evan Ingram or for Kyle Rudolph to get a lot of touches behind Evan Ingram, but we're going to see what we can do. Left tackle, we have Andrew Thomas, the rookie in this game, second-year player in real life out of Georgia. Really talented prospect coming out of Georgia, had an up-and-down rookie year. Hopefully he'll be the left tackle of the future, but at only a 70 overall, the verdict is definitely still out on him, but O-line is such a position of weakness for us right now. We're going to kind of have to hope that he pans out. That's just the situation we're stuck in. Left tackle Will Hernandez is another young offensive lineman we have. 73, he is a solid power blocker. Hopefully he can help spring some good holes for Saquon Barkley this year. We're going to need him for sure. Probably not going to be able to move off of him. He is one of our more secure talents, even though he's just a 73. I mean, this offensive line is a struggle. So, center Nick Gates, young center out of Nebraska, but at only a 68. Definitely somebody who could be in danger of losing his position after a year or two. But nobody on the roster right now is going to be able to take that position from him because, like I said earlier, our offensive line is just atrocious this year. Right guard, we have Zach Fulton. I mean, big body guy to Tennessee, but at a 69 overall, 6 years in the league, we've got to look to improve that position soon. Considering playing Nate Solder there, not the most realistic move as he's clearly a tackle, so playing him at guard doesn't make a lot of sense, but as far as Madden goes, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just not sure on what I want to do with that, but that is something I'm definitely considering. Could also play Nate Solder at right tackle because Matthew Pert is also not looking great. He is just a rookie in the game, you know, second-year player in real life. He is, you know, he's okay. He's just okay. He's not great. He's not horrible. He's young, though, so I kind of feel bad putting Nate Solder over him because Nate Solder has almost no long-term upside. So if I were going to start Solder, it would be at the right guard spot for sure. But offensive line is a huge point of weakness that we need to look to improve either through free agency, trades, the draft, something. I mean, we've got to protect Daniel Jones. We've got to be able to spring Saquon Barkley open on some runs. Otherwise, our offense is going to struggle despite all the receiver talent. So that's something we could look to trade for, especially with our receivers, but we'll see how that goes. Defensive line, we've got Dexter Lawrence here. Pretty standout young defensive end we've got out of Clemson here. Big frame guy, athletic. I'm excited about what he can bring to the team. Leonard Williams on the other side is another big guy, very athletic, very productive in real life this past year for the Giants, so hopefully we can replicate that here in Madden. Never know with this game, though. And, you know, both of our defensive end spots are set for the future. We're feeling good there. Defensive tackle, Danny Sheldon is another massive man, another huge guy on the defensive line for us. Probably not the best option for us long term, but as a stopgap defensive tackle, you know, he's pretty solid. And B.J. Hill behind him is a pretty young and fairly talented defensive tackle. So defensive line, we're pretty set. Maybe if we just find somebody who just, you know, you can't pass up, then maybe we can look to go there. But honestly, defensive line is not somewhere I see us improving in the foreseeable future. Left outside linebacker Lorenzo Carter, another freak athlete out of Georgia. His production on the field has been questionable, but his upside is undeniable. So we're going to have to see if we can convert his upside and his physical talent into some statistics and some production for us, because we really are going to need it out of that outside linebacker spot. Middle linebacker, kind of a weakness for the team. We have Blake Martinez, who's a serviceable inside linebacker. Not as fast as I'd want him to be, but the acceleration is solid. He's a pretty big frame guy. Probably going to move Tay Crowder up here just because I know in real life he actually had a really solid rookie season despite being the last draft pick in this past year's draft. but at a 63, it's going to be hard to play him. So we may have to look at an immediate move to get a middle linebacker, which I have an idea for that I'll go over later when we get to it. Right outside linebacker, I'm going to start the rookie Azeez Ojulari, whose name is, for some unknown reason, apparently offensive, and Madden has censored that. So he will be star Ojulari for this franchise. But, you know, what are you going to do? He is a guy who I think is probably one of the more underrated pass rushers of this past draft class. He's a very young guy, has a lot of upside. He is kind of raw, not a lot of power in his frame. He's pretty light, and he struggles a lot in pass coverage and stuff like that. But as a pure pass rusher, has a lot to offer to the team. And I like O'Shane Ximines, but it's just going to be, I mean, you know, we just drafted this guy. He's a rookie. You know, you kind of have to play him at this point. At corner, we have James Bradbury, and he's probably our best player on defense. A very good outside corner for us. Pretty young guy. Going to look to hold on to him. Hopefully he can lock down the secondary. We just picked up Adoree Jackson. Verdict is definitely still out on him. I mean, he's a young guy. He's got all the athletic talent in the world, but he just can't seem to put it together into a solid season out here at corner. And, you know, hopefully he will, because we need it. We are definitely going to need it. But I'm not sold on it. He's somebody who's going to have to prove it to me before we can do it. Slot corner, you know, we've got some options here. I think we'll be fine for our slot corner for now. Here's a position where things get interesting. Free safety, we have Logan Ryan, who's an older but a good veteran safety. But we also have Xavier McKinney, who absolutely has to see the field somehow. So one option is to move off of Logan Ryan and start McKinney at the safety spot. But considering how good Ryan is on our team right now, that's kind of something that I'm not really wanting to do, because we need talent wherever we can get it. So I have another idea, and that is moving McKinney to middle linebacker, where we have a big need. At 6', 201, only 86 speed, which is not good at safety, but at linebacker it is very good. Good acceleration, change of direction, stuff like that. Pretty good play rec. His coverage will be really good for a linebacker, although it's not great for a safety. But he's got good tackle and very good hit power, as well as good pursuit. His skill set, I think, translates very well to the linebacker position. So that is probably what I'm going to do, and play him as more of a money coverage third down middle linebacker type to help out Blake Martinez in the middle there. Strong safety, we have Jabril Peppers, who is a very good strong safety. He can play slot corner, he can play strong safety, he can play free safety. He can also slide down to linebacker. And we have Julian Love behind him. So we have 4 really good safeties and a lot of other positional needs. So we could look to move Jabril Peppers or Logan Ryan. If I was going to do it, I would move Logan Ryan just because he's older. And I think Peppers has more upside. And if we did that, I would put Julian Love at the free safety spot, keep McKinney at the linebacker, and keep Peppers at the strong safety. I think that might be the plan. And then you can move Logan Ryan to maybe pick up an offensive lineman, because that is our huge position of need. I am starting John Ross at the kick returner just because he is electric, and that is going to be one way to try to manufacture some points with his speed, because he's not going to get a lot of touches in the actual offense. Same thing on the punt returner. We have a lot of quality punt returner options here with Adoree Jackson, Dante Pettis, John Ross, Jabril Peppers, but we're gonna roll with John Ross there. Kickoff, nobody cares. Long snapper, nobody cares. Third down running back, I mean, come on, Saquon Barkley all day. Power back, Saquon Barkley all day. Slot receiver, we're going to make it Kadarius Toney. I don't think Slayton really fits in the slot. He's much more of a deep threat, and I think Toney can create some explosive plays for us out of the slot, and you know, make some good run after catch plays for us, and you know, sort of take some of the pressure off of Daniel Jones pushing the ball downfield, which is not one of his strong suits. Rush left in, it's going to be Lorenzo Carter. Rush right in is going to be Azeez Ojulari. Rush defensive tackle, Leonard Williams, Dexter Lawrence, Danny Shelton. That makes sense to me. Sub linebacker is going to be Blake Martinez and Xavier McKinney, because I'm going to move him to middle linebacker like I talked about. Slot corner, I could play Julian Love at the slot corner spot. What is his man's a 72, zone's a 75, 75 play rec, 72 pro. No, you know what? I'm gonna play Isaac. I don't know how to say his last name, so don't hate on me for that. I mean, I don't know how to say that. Yayadum, something like that. So I'm gonna move him to the slot corner. That way, Adoree can stay on the outside with Bradbury. And then I think the plan is gonna be to move Logan Ryan. I know I said we weren't gonna do any big trades, but I think that one just makes too much sense if I can find a trade partner. If I can't find a trade partner for him, then I will put Julian Love at the slot corner. But I think I can find a trade partner. So that is the depth chart. Let me go ahead and we can set our season goal. Honestly, I would say 7 wins. But because of our division being pretty terrible, at least in real life, I think we have to make the playoffs. Shoot for the sky. Let's see if we can get this trade to go through. I think this is pretty fair. Logan Ryan, he's a better player than Daniels. Daniels is a little younger. The Bears are somewhat interested in him. Let's see. Trade was accepted. Okay, so again, I know I said no trades, but this is just kind of something that I think makes too much sense for us to not do. So now that I've done that, let me go ahead and update the roster and depth chart real quick. And then I will show you guys the final product before we get ready to get into the first game of the season. Alright, so I am back after making some edits there to the roster. Some minor changes, moving the positions around like I talked about. So, this is what the roster will look like. We have Superstar X Factor Saquon Barkley at running back, hopefully going to carry the team. Daniel Jones at quarterback, Galladay, Slayton, Shepard, and Tony are our top receivers. Offensive line, we got young Andrew Thomas, along with the young Pert at right tackle. Just picked up James Daniels on a trade with Logan Ryan. He is now our best offensive lineman. I think that's going to be a good trade for us. Will Hernandez has also looked pretty good at left guard. Looking to replace center over time, though. Tempted to start Nate Solder here, but we're going to stick with the rookie for now. Evan Ingram and Kyle Rudolph at tight end. Hopefully they'll get involved as well. Defensive line, looking pretty good. Maybe some upgrades at defensive tackle, but honestly I think we're good. We're young. We're looking pretty solid there. Corners, we got Bradbury and Adoree Jackson. Those guys, Bradbury I'm confident in. Adoree Jackson remains unproven. We'll see. Move Julian Love to the free safety spot. He's going to get the start there now because we traded away Logan Ryan. Azeez Ojulari gets the start at linebacker, along with Xavier McKinney, who we moved from safety to middle linebacker. Blake Martinez, Lorenzo Carter, and Jabril Peppers will finish out the defensive lineup. On the special teams, we're going to have Dixon and Gano as our kicker and punter, and John Ross will be our return man. All right, so our offensive coordinator would like to talk to us about an X-Factor linebacker we're going to play up against. Probably going to be T.J. Watt. Yep, T.J. Watt. Lose and sleep over this guy, huh? Ferocious pass rusher, comes with everything on every play. Absolutely plays his heart out. You want to move the ball, we got to figure out how to handle T.J. Watt, especially on third down. Yeah, considering our offensive line too, that's going to be an interesting task. Also, they have Cam Hayward. That's going to be a problem to deal with. But you know what? We are a confident coach. We trust our team, and we're not going to build our entire game plan around one guy, especially not T.J. Watt. If it was J.J. Watt, maybe, but T.J. Watt, no, we're not going to do it. We're going to disregard him. You know what? Who cares? Watch just one play. He's not going to single-handedly wreck our offense. We take care of our own business. Promise we're going to walk out of there with a win. Offensive coordinator still seems a little worried, a little shaken up, but you know what? We are going to be fine. Game day goal, beat T.J. Watt Steelers. I mean, that was the goal the whole time. So, all right. So the original plan was to play week 1 in this video, but it's already run kind of long. So we'll have to save that for next time. Next time we'll play week 1 and week 2 and trim those gameplay videos up into one. I think that's going to be the plan going forward, is to do 2 games a video. I think that'll be good. If not, we'll adjust from there. But yeah, all right, I think that'll do it for episode 1 of the New York Giants franchise. Be sure to subscribe if you're excited for the franchise, and like the video if you liked it. If you didn't, then don't. It's fine too. Leave a comment on the video. That helps me out a lot. You can just leave some ideas for the league or the channel overall, or some criticisms, whatever you really want. Up to you. Anyway, that's all for this one. See you guys next time.